All right, time to see where we're at in the boys chat. Wait. They announced locations for Bushiroad Summerfest. Gotta head over to the website right now. I need to know. Did they update for White Plains? What?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Jokes aside, I am happy to see that Bushiroad finally posted dates and locations for Summerfest 2025, even though we're not going to be seeing a White Plains or Albany location this time around. I know back at BCS 2024, they didn't include one for either of the New York venues that they used to use in the past, so they're going to do that again this season. Bit of a hike for most of you New England players, especially us in Northern Connecticut here. We're going to be driving about 4.5-ish hours if we decide to go. There's definitely a lot less venues than I remember there being in years past, but I mean, every event that they've ever done has always been a free event, which is cool. When I think about it compared to like Yu-Gi-Oh or even Magic, the paid events that you go to, there's just more offerings, and I think that's just because they take that money that comes from the entrance, obviously, and they kind of put that towards the cost of paying for the venue. I think there's better ways that they could do that, but you know, I'm obviously not a Bushiroad employee. These are the venues that we're going to get, though, for North and Latin America. I do see some gaps in these dates here, and then we've obviously got Canada and Mexico overlapping on the same weekend here. So maybe, and this is me, wishful thinking, fingers crossed, that we do see more venues get posted, potentially a Albany or White Plains location. There's a couple weekends in here that they do have gaps in, so maybe we see. If not, then, well, it is what it is, unfortunately. Moving on to Europe and the UK, I think most of the venues are in Central and Western Europe. So you go Italy through mainland Europe, and then you got UK here at the end of summer. And then for Asia and the Oceanic countries, we've got Australia. And then these are mostly in the islands, and then Southeast and Eastern Asia. And then back to Australia at the end of summer. That's partly what's giving me hope. Wishful thinking. It's all wishful thinking. But that is it for the schedule as of right now until they update it, if they do. And they're going to have to at some point, because some of these still do have to be confirmed listed on the descriptions, as well as the formats. They do still have to update the formats that they're going to choose, just because of how they're doing those this time around. And I'll get to that next. If you've already seen those, though, feel free to skip ahead. But for the formats, Cardfight, I believe, is the only one that gets 3 different formats. So you have standard, premium, and then Lyrical Monastery is going to get its own cup. I do understand that it is more accessible than V Premium and Premium, of course. Premium it's just the unlimited format, you know. If you're an OG player that has a lot of older cards in your collection, you might want to participate in that. But I get that it might not be as accessible. They did do a couple different printings of cards to support the premium format, but nothing super crazy. There needs to be more. If they want to support premium, they need to really reprint a lot of the staples from the middle to the end of G, and even some older cards from the end of like Legion, Limit Break era. I don't know exactly what their kind of thinking is with that, but we do have a Lyrical Monasterio Cup as a alternative format. One location might have premium and standard, but then one might have standard and lyrical. And then they kind of balance those between the 2 days that they do over the weekend. And then one day will be Weiss, and the other day will be Shadowverse for the secondary event. And then Weiss and Shadowverse, unfortunately, only get the one format that they have at each venue. So that's pretty much it for formats. For prizing, I don't think anything's changed for the prizing. For Cardfight, it's going to be frame mirror treatment for any of the various ride lines. Some encounters are in here, but it's mostly Overdress and Divines. I think I skipped it there. Yeah, so Goyusha and Dilander are in here. And then Oral's in here as well. The only one that I would probably really care about is these right here, the Flam Glam ride line. And that's only because it's the only deck that I decided to build for Lyrical. It's the cheapest, I think. Doesn't need any of the staples for Divines. Other than that, I don't think I'm super excited for any of these, really. Unless they brought in, you know, Overlord. That would be the one that I'm looking for. Or Messiah and Brantgate. That would have been pretty cool to see. You got Roto Visor in here, which is like a replacement for Razors. I do miss Risers. And then we get to top 8, and we have a Type A B treatment for the Energy Generator. It's going to have one of these 2 characters on the card with that top 8 hot stamp. Top 4 is going to get a playmat with either the Dark States or the Brantgate Overtrigger. And then the champion is going to get a stamped version of either or Overtrigger. For the Lyrical Monasterio Cup, it's going to be that firmware treatment of the various ride lines out of Lyrical. Top 8 is going to get a playmat with the Overtrigger artwork on it here. Top 4 is going to get a stamped version of the Energy Generator with the Chris Rain player from Divines. And then the champion is going to get a stamped version of the Overtrigger there with the regional champion titleage on it as well. So all good stuff for Cardfight. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to do a separate line of participation promos for Premium. I would like to see that. It would give them a chance to... It goes back to what I was saying before about the lack of cards accessible for Premium players. It would give them a really solid opportunity to print staples from back in the day that players could take advantage of trying to acquire by participating. It's a little bit of a bummer that they're not really doing as much with Premium as at least I would like to see. But moving on to Weiss. For Weiss, they're going to do A or B stamp version of these 3 IPs. You got Rurouni Kenshin, Rascals Now Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and then Blue Archive. Top 8's going to get a event promo stamped Climax card. And then top 4 is going to get that playmat with the Summerfest artwork on it. And then the champion's going to get that Summerfest artwork on a promo Climax card as well. And then for Shadowverse is going to get a participation promo, 1 for each of the various crafts. Nothing super crazy, like Cardfight getting 80. And then top 8 is going to get a SL foiling promo for this Abysscraft card here. Top 4 is going to get a playmat with the Kagemitsu artwork on it, and then you got Kagemitsu as a U for the champion there. And that's going to be it for prizing for the main events. For the side events, I'm a little underwhelmed at the moment. Right now, Cardfight only has the 1. It's a single elimination side event. And it's going to feature that promo energy card with the Gabaleus encounter from Divines. And then the champion's going to get a standard version of that same card. But no free fight yet. I hope they do add that at some point. They did do V Premium as a side event back in the day. So hopefully they bring that back. Weiss, on the other hand, is going to get 2 side events. You have the single elimination tournament here. 3-round single elimination. You're going to get that Bang Dream promo here. Non-foil for the PR. And the champion is going to get that foiled version of that same PR. And then free fight, they're going to same thing with that Idol Cup from 2024. You're going to get a promo of that for the free fight participation. And then for Shadowverse, you have a Crosscraft free fight. Same thing, you're going to get the entry promos as a participation promo for the free fight. And then Glory Finder is going to have its own free fight as well, getting its own set of unique promos. Grand Summoning coming back here, really cool to see. And you get up to 2 per day as a player. And that is it for side events. I don't think that, they haven't updated the streams tab yet, but I think they're going to try and get some higher tier YouTube content creators on here. I know Different Fight and Car Protagonist in the past did a stream where they covered Nats, I believe, or Worlds. That is just about it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and comment down below on your thoughts about what the event's looking like for you so far, or any thoughts you have about the schedule, location, any hopes for new locations or other locations that haven't been added to the schedule just yet. I think me and some of my friends are going to try and make that trek out to Philadelphia for the end of summer. But outside of that, thank you again for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.